have a YouTube video, obviously, that went viral, and we'll get into that in a minute. But one of the reasons why I invited you to come on here is because the red flag for me initially was in March of 2020, and one of my friends who's an investigative journalist, actually, he was the guy that wrote the blogs. After doing the research, where he came up with 0.01% has 40% of the wealth, if you know where I'm going with that,
right?
He's the guy. And he put out this over hour-long video through his networks of this frontline nurse who was working at Elmhurst Hospital, in New York City, which was, considered ground zero at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Cuomo was on TV every day because of the disaster, obviously. And she had recorded video on her phone of conversations she had with colleagues, including her superiors and coworkers. And I could just see one story after another, and over an hour now, of working various floors of that hospital. And, they were not getting any good information about how to treat the patients coming in. And you could just hear the stress in their voices, and they just kind of, I don't know what to do. And it was tear jerking. I mean, to hear that stuff. And I said, this is not good. That was my first reaction, when people are not knowing what to do, and they're the professionals that people are relying on. So that was my red flag initially. Your video on YouTube, you spoke to the North Vernon community board, school board there, because they were, obviously looking into reopening the schools back up, trying to figure out what the protocols were. And in just a little over 6 minutes, a brilliant overview of suggestions and what you had known from your personal experience. So you mentioned in that video, you said no vaccine stops infection. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. People have come to get this idea that somehow vaccination makes it so there's a bubble around you that the virus can't penetrate. That's not how these things work. You actually get infected. It's just that your immune system responds so quickly and so accurately that it eradicates the pathogen before it can cause enough inflammation to make you have symptoms. But it's not the case that you somehow just never get virus in you. You get virus in you, and in some vaccination situations, the COVID-19 one being very clearly one of these, you actually get virus in you and you shed virus as much as an infected, in some studies, more than a naturally infected person does. And I think the complexities of vaccines and immune system interaction is very poorly understood by the general population. And what the CDC and the FDA are doing is just muddying the waters and simplifying complicated interactions down to the level of idiocy.